But we have another game, and I actually kind of like this. There's a bit of happy kismet in that this is also about alternate realities. Just a very bizarre alternate reality. I will be honest, I just hit escape by accident, and of course, escape doesn't bring up anything. I hit escape, which quits instead of bringing up a menu. These things happen. But there's another game that I wanted to check out tonight. So let's do that while I'm thinking of it. I just couldn't bear going through that same thing. And I don't know if I'm going to actually play through this whole game. We'll see. So this is also by Quadra Interactive. This was the second and final game that Quadra Interactive published. And it's a Viking entertainment. And yeah, the conceit of this game is truly bizarre.
It's a beautiful day here in Dallas as President and Mrs. Kennedy arrive at Love Field for what is one. John Connolly.
Let's pull that up one more time. So the conceit of this game is that JFK was not assassinated. Oh, and now we don't have sound. Ooh, playing 30-year-old games. Always fun. And of course, just like if it was 1995, answer is always just a restart. But yeah, the conceit here is that JFK survived, and the goal is to figure things out. I find this a just baffling idea for a game.
It's a beautiful day here in Dallas as President and Mrs. Kennedy arrive at Love Field for what is widely regarded as the first stop on the 64 campaign trail. They are being greeted by Texas Governor John Connolly and various other well-wishers. After the president leaves Love Field, he will partake in a motorcade through Dallas and then on to the trademark to deliver a speech. And here comes the motorcade.
Like,
President
why?
Kennedy is seated in the rear of his limousine with the First Lady on his left.
Why would you make this game?
It appears that something has gone wrong with the motorcade. We are receiving reports that there has been a shooting, that shots have been fired at the motorcade. The police are on the scene. We don't know if the president's been hit. We understand that Parkland Hospital has been notified.
President Kennedy was shot during today's motorcade, but is in good condition with what the doctors are calling a superficial flesh wound to his right shoulder. The President regrets that the kickoff to our 64 campaign has been marred, but vows to continue our quest for re-election next fall.
Like, what is going through your 1995 head that, okay, it's 30 years later. I guess that's something, but just what? Why? So I did initially find this game through Vectoroid, who I believe just had it up as a joke. I was like, that can't be a game. But no, it's a game.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello.
Here's that information about the assassination attempt you wanted from the police. This should give you a few leads for your own investigation. That was a close call you had last week. You had the family really scared. Thank God you're okay.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, cool. We have choices. So I have not looked at this beyond being like, it exists. So we have calm and angry as choices. Let's be calm.
Thanks, Bobby. Whoever did this isn't going to get away with it. Not if I can help it.
We'll find him. I'm sure of it. You'll probably want to look through that file for a while, so I'll leave you alone. I'll speak with you later.
What? So if the last game was like truly ahead of its time and actually seemed like a very good game that I want to spend more time with, I don't know. This is a bit baffling. Yes, play. Rewind. Call secretary. Okay. Notes. Okay, I have a place to write notes. And like, I find this interesting too, as somebody who knows just a little bit of like what was going on with Kennedy. Like, he was a very sick person. Like, he had many physical ailments, both like chronic illnesses and also injuries from when he was in the military. Like, the presentation of him as this like strong young president does not align with the reality of it. So I'm curious, like, how much they're into this, especially given that like Spycraft was right around the corner development wise. You know, obviously a totally different studio, but one of the things in a Digital Antiquarian article about Spycraft that I found really fascinating was comparing it against other kind of propagandistic games that were coming out at the time. Like, he compared it against Police Quest and this whole like vision of adventure games being something where you can like project your feelings, project your like I'd go as far to say as politics like into a game. So I'm curious, like, I mean, I can already tell this is not going to have as balanced a view as I think Spycraft did. But I'm curious. Campaign budget not established. Okay, well that's something we got to do. Travel itinerary not established. No poll results available. Okay. Yeah, that's a word I'm not going to use. Title 1 prohibits tactics used to keep people from voting. Title 2 requires desegregation of public hotels, restaurants. Title 3 empowers the Attorney General to bring suit to desegregate schools. Creates Community Relations Service, continues Civil Rights Commission. Allows the federal government to deny funding to public programs whose hiring practices are racially discriminatory. Creates Commission of Equal Employment Opportunity. Okay. So, like, I'm just so fascinated, like, why does this game exist? Current troop levels 16,000. Wonder if that's actually correct. Okay. I have a phone. Can we press any of these buttons? No. Okay. Oh, okay, we can walk out. I was like, all right, we've got some swords. Blue book. F. Red, yellow, blue, justice. Yellow, blue, red, spies. Command, male. Wait. Red, yellow, blue, justice. Yellow, blue, red, spies. Okay. So there is a puzzle in this. Historic Oval Office furnishings. President's portrait donated by Teddy Roosevelt. Gilded vase. Guest chairs. Sword set. 14-volume anthology. World War I flagpoles. Okay. And some kind of West Wing map. Modern presidential campaign. Stephen Douglas was the first presidential candidate to openly campaign for himself. He lost the election to Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Woodrow Wilson was the first presidential campaign to openly campaign for himself and win. He defeated Theodore Roosevelt in 1912. Like Douglas and Wilson, many distinguished stumpers have been Democrats. The best Democratic campaigners have shaped their speeches to fit the requirements of each audience. Memorable campaign speeches have included discussions concerning the United Nations in New York City, discourses on tax reform in Ohio, Maine, and Nevada, and talks on agriculture in Oregon, Washington, and Wisconsin. These topics were covered during campaign rallies, whistle-stop tours, and rear platform speeches. Many were accompanied by such tactics as campaign promises and continuous handshaking. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll look at this. Okay, we got a phone number for Gordon Tompkins.
Begin interview with Mrs. Kenneth Dalton. Now, Mrs. Dalton, tell us what you saw in Dealey Plaza.
Yes, well, I heard those terrible shots ring out. There seemed to be 3 or 4 shots. And as I heard the shots, I looked up at the county records building because that's where the noise was coming from. When I looked up, I saw someone or something moving in the corner window of the 5th floor. I couldn't make anything out except that there was movement. That's all I know.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Dalton. End interview with Mrs. Kenneth Dalton.
Begin interview with Elliot Balder. Now, Mr. Balder, tell us what you know about the assassination attempt.
Am I on? Okay. I know that the shots came from the county records building. My wife, my brother, and I were standing right in front of that building when the shots were fired. I'm sure they came from that building because the sound of the shots was right above us. I wish I could tell you more, but my wife and I had just come up from Austin the day before, and we were too overtaken by the whole place and all the excitement to notice anything specific.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Balder. End interview with Elliot Balder.
Begin interview with Jason Alvarado.
Like,
Now, Mr. Alvarado, tell us what you saw on November 22nd.
did someone think that this
I
was
saw a rifle coming out of the window on
compelling?
the 5th floor of the county records building. Did you see the person who had the gun? No, I didn't. That's strange to see, but I just saw the rifle, and I heard the shots. It was just terrible. That's all we need now. Thank you for your time, Mr. Alvarado. End interview with Jason Alvarado. Begin interview with Sarah Kavanaugh. Now, Miss Kavanaugh, just tell us now what you told us before.
Okay. Well, I guess I should start by saying that I work in the county records building. I'm a clerk there. Anyway, the week before the president came to Dallas, a man came to my desk and asked for a copy of the blueprints for the building, so I gave them to him. I really didn't think too much of it until I heard that the shots had been fired from the records building. I think he may be the man responsible.
Can you tell us what he looked like?
He was tall, over 6 feet, and he had a sandy brown hair. And I think he had a pretty big nose. That's all I remember.
Thank you for your time, Miss Kavanaugh. End interview with Sarah Kavanaugh.
Okay. Well, interesting. It appears that 3 shots were fired. 1 missile hit the windshield of the limousine, another hit the side of the moving vehicle, and the 3rd hit President Kennedy. The President sustained a flesh wound in his right shoulder. The nature of the bullet wound indicates that the shots came from above and behind the president. Witness testimony supports this conclusion. It appears that the shooter was located in the county records building. Firearms and identification analysis of the bullet fragments indicates the use of a .257 caliber bolt-action weapon. Nitrate tests on Rafkin and Parsons indicate that neither of them had fired a gun on November 22nd, 1963. So I guess we have prints from 2 people that worked in that office, Robert Rafkin and Deborah Parsons. Witness listing Jason Alvarado, Sarah Kavanaugh, Ms. Kenneth Dalton, Elliot Balder. Just truly bizarre. Okay. So we checked out the FBI file. There's something going on with this bookshelf. Now we have doors. So if we go in here, what's in these drawers? Right, we're the president. We don't have keys. Sure would like to find someone to talk to. Oh, no. It's, Jennifer Tate. The civil rights legislation. I'm so curious, like, who is this game for? Alright, what if we go through this door? I'm not going back in that limousine. You literally can't pay me to do that. I mean, okay. I guess this is introducing me to people who I will meet later. Oh, here we are. A whole room. We've got, you know, this great West Wing soundtrack going. I'm down, but like, what exactly are we accomplishing here? All right, no. Guess I'll go in the... Yeah, I'm home. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the big JFK movie, the Roger Stone one. President back on job after Dallas attack. JFK's Vietnam policy very popular in Ohio. States' rights, the hot topic in Mississippi. Oh boy. Gotta love 90s look on
And for
things.
what's happening in Vietnam, the helicopter is finally coming of age as a weapon, proving its worth time and again in the bitter South Vietnam jungle war. The chopper, as U.S. troops have nicknamed it, wins acclaim in rescue work, snatching wounded from otherwise inescapable death. The copter is able to swoop in on isolated rebel pockets, fire at the enemy, and immediately soar away to safety. And now for our final story. During his whirlwind tour of Florida, President Kennedy stopped off at Cape Canaveral long enough to inspect the Saturn I missile. The president was impressed by the Saturn's takeoff thrust of 1.5 million pounds. This rocket power that enables a 19,000-pound payload to be carried into space is an achievement that far surpasses the Russians in the race to the moon. That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
Literally 2 stories. That is all the news for now. Okay. What? Well,
And for what's happened...
no. Oh, here we are.
Mr. President, this just arrived for you. I would have had it processed with your other mail, but it's labeled confidential, so I figured I would show it to you first.
I mean, be patient. Oh, hello. Menu bar?
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Have a good afternoon.
Ah, yes. You know what people were known for? Oh, great. Okay. Juggernaut. Dallas. The Camel. Mr. President, I'm a private investigator from Dallas. I've been investigating the assassination attempt. I hope I can explain everything to you. I'm afraid I've raised some suspicion, so I'm mailing this to you in case anything happens to me. Call me at 214-555-0529. Bill Strachan. Yeah, like... Glad it took me an hour to read that. Can I just... Okay. Oh, here we are. Phone numbers. Well, alright. Yeah. Let's call Rafkin. What does that do? Yes. Hello. Oh. Fake name.
Hello, Mr. Rapkin? This is Kevin Brudeman with the Dallas Police. I have a few questions for you about November 22nd.
Look, you guys have got to stop calling me. I've told you everything I know. I was with my friends in Dealey Plaza watching the motorcade. I have no idea if someone was in my office while I was out. Please leave me alone. Goodbye.
Okay. What else can we accomplish here? These buttons at the bottom. Oh, hey, people. Finally.
Hi, Jack.
Hello.
Who's responsible for the shooting?
Oh, I don't know, dude. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get back to you when I found out a little more information. Thanks for coming by today.
No problem.
Okay. What about... Oh. Yeah, right? Like... It's like a bunch of random names and then just the camel. Well, I guess I used up my one action for the day. So sure, I'll call this dude.
Draken Investigation Agency, may I help you?
Yeah, can I have
May I
Bill
speak
on
with
the
Bill
phone?
Strachan, please?
I'm sorry. He's unable to come to the phone. He's dead.
What?
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Who am I speaking with?
This is Sylvia Hall. I was Mr. Strachan's secretary.
Well, yeah, let's just keep
Maybe you
being
can
patient.
help me, Miss Hall. Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss, but you can call me Sylvia. And I don't know how much I can help you. I only started working here a few weeks ago.
Alright, let's just
I
keep being
understand.
patient.
Just do your best. First, how did Mr. Strachan die?
He was shot. He was walking out of the building and someone just shot him. I can't believe it. They haven't caught the guy who did it either, but the police don't think it was a random killing.
Okay.
Oh, that's awful. Do they have any suspects?
No, not even one.
Sylvia, do you know anything about a juggernaut or something called the camel?
No, I've never heard of them before. Sorry.
I see.
That's okay. Did Mr. Strachan mention anything about the Kennedy assassination attempt?
No, he didn't.
asking all these questions anyway? Who is this?
I'm a reporter covering the Kennedy shooting.
Who happens just to sound like John. Yeah, I should have told the truth, but I'm not just gonna roll off and be like, well, I'm president. I'm just, you know, dealing with a very intense, you know, obsession here.
Tompkins.
Ah, yes.
Hello, Detective Tompkins. This is Jack Kennedy.
Hello, Mr. President. How can I help you?
Yeah, ask a question.
I received the FBI folder on the investigation, and I was wondering if you could give me any more information.
I'm afraid that everything we know at this time is in that folder, sir. But we are constantly working to get more information.
All right.
Thank you for your time, Detective.
Useless. I'm not just gonna call random eyewitnesses. So it looks like we get one action a day. What does that mean?
Hello, sir. Where to today?
Oh, we can go places. Let's go to the Jefferson Memorial.
Certainly,
It's
sir.
like kind of a hall outside of DC, but sure. All right, yeah, let's. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. That. I guess you can meet people places.
Where would you like to go, Mr. President?
Definitely not home. Sure, the FBI headquarters.
Building.
Certainly, sir.
Oh, no. It's too late. It's nighttime. What's on the news?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here's tonight's top story. Only 4 minutes after taking off from Montreal in a driving rainstorm, a Canadian 4-engine jet plunged to earth and burned. All 118 persons aboard were killed in Canada's worst air disaster. 16 other lucky persons owed their lives to the fact that they were caught in a Montreal traffic jam. They missed their flight. Pope Paul VI ended the second session of Rome's Ecumenical Council with a precedent-shattering statement. He announced that he will, quote, visit the land from whence Peter set forth, end quote. Pope Paul will be the first of his successors to return to the Holy Land. Many see the Pope's Holy Land pilgrimage as an advance for better relations among churches of all faiths. That's all for tonight's news, but remember, same time, same place, and same station tomorrow.
Sure. Many in New Hampshire concerned with education. Foreign aid is sore subject. New report links cigarettes with cancer. Okay. No, let's figure some stuff out here. Okay, James Larson, director of the CIA, General Thomas Ballard, Paul Spencer. We actually know
Let's get started, gentlemen. Jim, I want your read on the situation in Vietnam.
As you know, sir, the political situation is volatile. Diem's fall last month destabilized an already shaky situation. General Minh, the current president, appears uninterested in leading the country. We've heard rumors of another coup. Ambassador Reams believes the current regime could fall as early as January.
Yes, respond. Commands for gamers.
Yes, I'm aware of the uncertainty. How would you characterize the overall U.S. effort toward turning back the communists, General?
Not good, sir. The 16,000 advisors we have in place can't do much. They are limited to training the South Vietnamese army. To complicate matters, the villages are proving to be a formidable supply line for the communists. While the country's peasants accept our help, they apparently side with the communists by providing food, shelter, and munitions.
Is this supposed to be, like, educational?
Go on, Tom.
The only way to combat such a diffused network is with a whole lot of men beating the bushes out in the countryside. If we're going to win this thing, it's going to have to go on the ground and in a big way. Our current role as advisors is next to useless.
Now you listen to me, Tom. We are in Vietnam at the request of that government. We are advisors, nothing more. Do you read me? We start getting boys killed over there and we're in big trouble politically. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So that was my angry face. I feel like I can be angry with
Now, how close are we to winning this thing?
If things turn around a bit, we could be victorious in 6 to 12 months. The key is control of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, an ancient north-south supply route used by traders for centuries. The trail is really nothing more than a network of primitive paths through some of the densest jungle in the world.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm
I hope you're right, Paul. The last thing we want is to have our boys crawling around in the jungle. Thanks for the briefing, gentlemen. Keep me posted on new developments.
Well, good. That was 4 hours well spent. We got the worst overview of one of the most complicated political situations of the 1960s. No, I don't want to go home. I hear the tapping of somebody working. All I want to do is talk to somebody. Oh, too late. Okay. Well. Oh, and you can only call these people like once. Interesting. Ooh, hello.
Hello, Miss Parson. This is Jack Kennedy.
Oh, really? Well, then this is Jackie Kennedy.
Wow. All right. Yeah, dig. I wouldn't believe me either.
Hello, sir. Where to today?
Yeah, we're definitely going to the FBI.
The FBI building.
Certainly, sir.
Got 3 hours to kill.
Hello, Mr. President. What brings you this way?
Respond. Ignore her.
Hello, Catherine. You're looking lovely today. Just stopping by to speak with the director.
Of course, sir. Go right in.
Thanks,
I will.
Catherine. You're a doll.
What? What is this supposed to be doing? What is the point of this? Why does this game exist?
Mr. President, what a surprise. What can I do for you?
Yeah, let's just make small
Just thought
talk.
I'd come by to see how everything is going here.
Everything's running smoothly.
Yes?
Great. Anyway, I was just wondering if you could give me a update on the crime situations in the cities.
Certainly, sir. Just give me a minute to speak with Steve down the hall. He's been studying this issue, and I believe he has an updated report in his office. It will just take me a minute. I'll be right back.
What is this voice? Yes, good. Now's my chance. Oh.
I'm sorry that took me so long, sir, but I've got that report for you now.
Great. Thanks. Can I have that report?
I've just remembered that I have a photo session with Jackie and the kids. I'm sorry, but I have to leave. Thanks for your time.
Anytime, Mr. President. Goodbye.
Okay. So this game, and this is kind of why I was interested in doing both games at least a little bit tonight. Like, what? It's always interesting to me that, like, a game company will
The
exist.
Lincoln Memorial.
You know, especially a publishing company where, like, they're not developing anything. Or they're not, like, developing anything explicitly. Hello. Yes. Like, why they wouldn't have survived as a business in a time where, like, I don't know, games were kind of interesting.
Air disaster strikes in stormy North America for the second time this week. Following a Canadian crash earlier in the week, this plane bound for Philadelphia from Puerto Rico went down during a storm near Elkton, Maryland. All 81 persons aboard were killed in the crash that some experts attribute to a bolt of lightning. A contingent of servicemen arrives home from Vietnam as part of the Department of Defense's troop rotation policy. This is neither a reduction nor an increase of forces, just a rotation. So welcome home to those returning, and best wishes to all those soldiers heading overseas. That's all the news for now, so until tomorrow, good night.
Okay. Polls show you New Yorkers concerned with economy. Studebaker production ended in the United States. Greer says defense cuts will close bases. Okay. But like, if this is meant as a simulation, oh hello.
I just stopped by to invite you and Jackie out to lunch next week. I couldn't help but notice that confidential envelope on your desk. Is there anything in there I should know about?
Yeah,
It's
you know
got
what?
Some
Yeah.
information about the assassination attempt.
Can I look at it?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll have a copy made for you on your way out.
Okay. I'll go back to my office and look into it.
That would be great. Thanks.
No trouble. I'll call you later about lunch.
Okay. Got some deep personification there. All right, we've got an Attorney General, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, Press Secretary, Oh, it's a full cabinet meeting.
Gentlemen, let's get started. I'd like to get a rundown of the people who'll be running against me in this election.
There's only one Democrat willing to run against you, Mr. President. It's Andrew Sharp, the senator from Georgia. He's pretty conservative for a Democrat, and as you can imagine, he's against the Civil Rights Bill.
That's putting it mildly, Sam. Sharp's a staunch segregationist, sir. He does support entitlement programs for the needy, though. His biggest support comes from the southern states.
So, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this timeline. That doesn't seem right to me.
What are Sharp's views on Vietnam?
He claims that he would be more aggressive in dealing with the communist forces in Vietnam. I think he'd escalate our efforts over there.
I don't think he's much to worry about. Now, on the Republican side, there are 3 men and 1 woman that I believe will announce their candidacies very soon. They are James Decker, Glenn Hansen, Oliver Buckman, and Mary Misson.
I think your biggest threat will be from Glenn Hansen. He's the governor of Pennsylvania and a progressive Republican. Hansen thinks the government should be less involved in private business. He endorses the Civil Rights Bill, and as for Vietnam, he supports our position as advisors over there.
Personally, I think James Decker, the Colorado senator, could be a problem. The guy's got a strong following among the very conservative members of his party.
Like, so this is meant to be a simulation.
What are Decker's views on the basic issues?
He wants the government to stop interfering with private business, and he's against the Civil Rights Bill because he feels the state should deal with the issue themselves. As for Vietnam, I believe he'd go to combat.
Tell me about the other candidates.
Oliver Buckman, the senator from Illinois, is very similar to Glenn Hansen. Like Hansen, Buckman doesn't like the government to be involved in private business any more than it has to. He supports the Civil Rights Bill, and he supports the U.S.'s current position in Vietnam.
Buckman's problem is that he doesn't have the popular support that Hansen has. I don't think Buckman's going to be in this race for long.
I agree with Fred. Buckman doesn't have the political clout to win the Republican nomination. He'll probably drop out early.
The 4th Republican contender is Senator Mary Misson from Rhode Island. She's a self-proclaimed moderate Republican who supports the Civil Rights Bill and is willing to vote for legislation that affects private enterprise. She's got a lot of support in New England and the northern industrial states.
There's one candidate you won't have to worry about. This country is definitely not ready to accept a woman as president. So that's it for the candidates, Mr. President. Decker, Hansen, Buckman, and Misson for the Republicans, and you and Sharp for the Democrats.
Another thing we need to discuss, Mr. President, is your campaign slogan. I've met with the advertising agency and they've come up with 4 choices. I need you to decide which one you want. The first one is, all the way with JFK. Second, 4 more in 64. Third, Kennedy. Again. And finally, let's keep the country moving.
I like that last one, because it plays off your slogan from the last election. Let's get the country moving again. that was very effective.
That's a good point, Sam. Any other opinions?
4 more in 64 sounds too impersonal. I prefer Kennedy again.
I agree. I think Kennedy, again, is excellent. It's simple and straightforward. Which one do you like, sir?
What do we have? Kennedy again. I like the first one.
I like All the Way with JFK. That's the one we should go with.
I couldn't agree more, sir. I'll let the advertising agency know of your decision.
Great.
Thank you, Fred. Now that that's settled, I'd say that this meeting is adjourned.
So what happens if we check our notes now? Whoa, that took up a lot of time. No poll results. Can we get some polling? No travel light. Okay, nothing there. Still the same current troop levels. I have more people I could call. What about Elliot Balder?
Hello, Elliot Balder? This is Jack Kennedy.
Did you say Jack Kennedy? The Jack Kennedy?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Balder. This is the Jack Kennedy. I'd like to hear what you know about the shooting.
Well, Mr. President, my wife and I were in town visiting my brother, so we went to see you and your lovely wife while you were in Dallas. We were standing right in front of the county records building when the shots were fired. I'm sure they came from that building because the sound of the shots was right above us.
Okay.
Is there, anything else you can tell me?
I'm sorry, sir. I wish there were more to tell. It was just such a mass of confusion. Being from out of town and all, everything was so unfamiliar. I just don't remember much after the shots were fired. I'm sorry.
Did you see anything, unusual before you heard the shots?
Like I said, Mr. President, being from out of town, everything was unusual. But I didn't see anything that would help the investigation.
All these people are useless.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Balder. Goodbye.
I mean, I'm so unsure as to what I'm supposed to be doing. Glad I figured out that once a day I can do something useful. Yeah, so I can hear the, like, typewriter sound. But the only two places I can go are home like, I can't imagine that I can just walk around these rooms. It's just so odd that this would be the mechanism. I feel like I'm missing something. And like nobody else, like none of this is all here, but it's not really like movable per se. I mean, Tompkins said pretty clearly that like everything that they have is there. All the way with JFK.
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello.
I've got a few things I'd like to discuss with you about your re-election campaign. I've assembled some figures for you to use to make some financial decisions. They are in that folder on your desk.
Oh, good.
All right, Ross. Where should we start?
You've got $1 million in your war chest. Campaign contributions are a little low right now, but that's only because you haven't done much campaigning yet. As the season wears on, your contributions will increase, especially if you participate in fundraising events.
Okay. What do I need to decide right now?
First, you need to determine how much money you want to allocate to advertising. Considering how far away the election is, you probably don't want to allocate very much right now. The second issue is whether you'd like to do some preliminary polling on the other candidates. If you want polling information, you'll need to allocate some funds for that as well. And finally, you need to okay the amount allocated for security. If that figure is unacceptable to you, feel free to adjust it.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't think we need... So what do we have? $500,000 for 4 months. No. Let's do some polling. Let's start there.
I've made my decisions, Ross. Thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
that was kind
Thank
of
you,
my
Mr.
thought
President.
too.
I'm looking forward to a very successful campaign. And on my way out, I'll schedule a meeting through your secretary to discuss campaign touring with you.
Just keep, everything down low. All right. Hello.
I researched the information in that confidential folder from Strachan. Here's what I found out. How's everything else on the investigation going?
Real shitty, actually.
Terrible. I'm not getting anywhere.
Well, I'll try to help you out whenever I can. I've got a meeting in half an hour. I've got to go.
All right. Well, what'd you find out? He's a legitimate private investigator. Here's his address. As for Juggernaut in Dallas, I did some research and found that the Juggernaut appears in 3 places in Dallas. Juggernaut's Inc., the Juggernaut Bicycle Shop, and Juggernaut Saloon. Yeah, right? Like, what? I mean, I guess it was, like, months later. I am baffled. I'm still baffled as to why this game exists. Like, what What itch is being scratched here? Okay, thanks. Well, definitely the Juggernaut Saloon. Hey, you know what? It's late at night. Too late. Bank robbers in Texas make off with $250,000. $250,000 magically ends up in the presidential campaign to re-elect the president fund. All right, I've not dealt with this yet. See how ham-fisted this is.
Since you've brought it up, Mr. President, I'd like to say that personally, I don't understand why this administration is going out on a limb for a civil rights bill that has no chance of passing. I think we should go back to our original strategy, prosecuting civil rights violators and registering the Southern Negro voter.
We've tried that, Paul, and it doesn't work. We can't solve this problem one lawsuit at a time. We need legislation. And this bill can pass. We had a great reaction after the March on Washington in August. If we can continue creating positive displays of the Negro protest, we can get this bill through Congress.
Aren't
really
you
don't
forgetting
love
that
how
we
much
also
they're
have to
using that
convince a
word.
number of congressmen and senators to vote for this bill?
I haven't forgotten that, Paul. I'm just confident that we can accomplish that task as well.
Yeah, let's stay focused on
Where
the
do we
bill.
stand on the civil rights bill now?
There are 7 titles in this bill. The most controversial is Title II, the Public Accommodation section. Requiring Southerners to desegregate their public restaurants and hotels won't be easy. Southerners argue that this is a state issue. They don't want the federal government mandating a change in their traditions.
Title III is also a problem. It allows the Attorney General to bring lawsuits against school districts that are not integrated. Unfortunately, most Southern whites oppose integrated schools, so this is going to be a tough title to pass as well.
Oh, I will check that out. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, I did find this review. I just didn't read the comments. I will have to read this and figure this out. Yeah, this is definitely interesting to find. I will have to check out those comments and really find it. Yeah, I mean, that also just tells you like what level Mac Gaming was in. Wait a minute. RPG of the year for 1995. When? Hang on. Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, ignoring that this is not an RPG, but all I'm saying is
That's
that
all
Exile
the
1
information
was
I'll need
out
for now,
in
gentlemen.
1995.
Thank you for the update.
So what version am I running right now? Made with Macromedia Flash. So this is, according to that link that you sent me, this is version 1.0, and therefore the crime subplot is unable to be beaten, which is fine. This does not hurt me in the slightest. I'm still very baffled by this game, but let's call everybody. Get this over with.
Hello?
Fake name.
Hello, Ms. Kavanaugh. This is Kevin Bruderman with the Dallas Police. I have a few questions for you about the assassination attempt.
Okay, what would you like to know?
Anything.
Is there anything new that you can add to your police statement?
Actually, I do remember one thing about him that I forgot when I was talking to you guys before, but it's kind of silly. The guy had really long eyelashes. I mean really long. They looked fake, they were so long. I guess that's not exactly what you were looking for.
No. That's actually good.
Everything helps. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Sorry, that's it. Look, I've got to run. I've got a date tonight. Bye.
Okay. Really long eyelashes.
Hello, Mrs. Dalton? This is Kevin Bruderman with the Dallas Police. I have a few questions for you about the assassination attempt on the president.
But I've already told the police everything I know.
That's no excuse.
I understand that you've already been questioned, ma'am. But I was just wondering if you remembered anything that you didn't tell the police before.
No. I've already said all I've got to say. Goodbye.
All right. Real name.
Hello? Mr. Alvarado? This is Jack Kennedy.
Yeah, right. And I'm Herbert Hoover.
Really, Mr. Alvarado? I'm Jack Kennedy. I know that you've spoken with the police about what you saw in Dealey Plaza, and I want to ask you a couple of questions myself. May I ask you a few questions?
Of course you can ask me questions. As many questions as you like. And I'm sorry about that Hoover crack. I'm just not used to being called by the president.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Alvarado. Most people react the same way to my calls. Now, about Dealey Plaza. What did you see?
I saw a rifle coming out of the window on the 5th floor of the county records building.
If you, don't mind my asking, why were you looking at the records building?
I was looking over there because my daughter's balloon had gotten away from her, and I was watching it fly away. Well, that's when I saw the rifle and I heard the shots.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Alvarado.
What?
Goodbye.
What am I supposed to be getting out of that? Yeah, it's interesting that this was well regarded. Like, especially since like that other game had come out, and like Myst is out at this time, and like we're only like a year before we like.
Hello, sir. Where to today?
No, I don't want to go there. I want to go to the. No. I want to go to the bar. Why aren't we calling them? Have anybody else? I can call Gordon Tompkins. I'll call him back. See what's up.
Tompkins, FBI.
Fake name.
Hello, Detective Tompkins. This is Kevin Brudeman, reporter with the Examiner.
I wish you guys would quit calling me. I don't talk to the press.
Huh. Okay. I don't know. Let's get through one, maybe 2 more days. I mean, there's like nothing else to do, it seems.
Hello, sir. Where to today?
Yeah, okay. Sydney, great. Let's go to the Washington
Monument.
Certainly, sir.
Okay, we can just be here. I'm so baffled. So this is like interesting though, because like to me.
Hello, Mr. President. Where would you like to go?
This is definitely like a lot more information.
The White House.
You know, a lot more of a game
be there
than
shortly,
like
sir.
a small indie studio. Ugh. A lot more of a game than a small indie studio could have done. Okay. Let's get through one more day. Oh, and I guess it's like 1 week. So if this wanted to be, though, a simulation kind of deal, like, what? I just find it so weird. Okay, that's my notes. Do I get my polling? Polling. Okay, cool. That's not bad. What about travel? No travel. Okay. Well, all things considered, polling kind of well. Anything changing? Do one more foreign policy one.
Mr. President, there are indications that the communists have stepped up the flow of insurgents down the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Intelligence also shows increased construction activity on the trail, indicating a move to improve transportation capabilities. I would advise preemptory airstrikes at targets along the trail.
No.
Paul, didn't you tell me that the trail was just a network of old footpaths?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay.
Then what's going on? I want answers I can count on.
I'm sorry, sir, but we've just processed new recon photos that indicate far more activity on the trail than even a week ago.
I see. Please go on.
Well, sir, the photos show concentrated construction at 7 points along the trail. Bunkers that could be anti-aircraft emplacements and what appear to be bridge pylons just west of Dak To and Kam Duk.
Let's stay calm.
Paul, aren't the South Vietnamese capable of making the airstrikes?
Unfortunately, no. We feel that the terrain and jungle cover would require a more surgical strike than anything the Vietnamese are currently capable of.
Could the South Vietnamese be trained to handle the mission, Paul?
Certainly they could, sir. However, time is short, and the political situation has distracted the high-level officers in Saigon.
I don't care about a bunch of two-bit generals and their political aspirations. What I do care about is our boys, the image of America, and re-election.
I understand, sir.
Oh, good. I'm glad that we're just like
so what we're talking
transparent
here is
on
involvement of U.S. combat troops in Vietnam?
Yes, sir. In a limited capacity.
Are there any other comments?
I believe a change in our role in Vietnam from advisory to combat would be premature at this point, sir. The move would be interpreted by the communists as a provocation. They will argue that the action validates their presence there.
And it would be tough to sell to the people, Mr. President. We've been telling them all along we're there to train, not fight.
I say wait, Mr. President. Any combat action right now will hurt your chances for re-election.
The way I see it, doing nothing while the communists march on South Vietnam will kill your chances for re-election. What do you want to do?
No.
For now, we'll remain in an advisory capacity.
All right, sir.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Just put on my I did study quite a bit of this hat. Yeah, there's no good answer. It's just so bizarre that it's got all these little things and then it's like command mail, yellow, blue, red, red, yellow, blue. Like, what does this mean? What an odd game. I'm glad that I got to check it out, and I'm glad that I found it through a very weird, circuitous path. But it's definitely clear why this publishing house went down. yeah, I just don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing at any moment. Which maybe that's the most like realistic part of this. Like, it's not like a president knows what they're doing, but to only get a few hours a gameplay loop to make a decision, to now have called everybody to the point that they do not want to be called. We got this from our Attorney General, which we can't do anything with. We can't even go to these places. I mean, I do like that we have notes. And it's only January 7th, and the next decision that we can make on our re-election isn't until like April. I'm just going to pop on TV and see what's up.
Reflections on the 1963 sports year as it winds down show it as another great one to be remembered. Baseball enjoyed a gala season from opening day when right-hander John F. Kennedy threw out the first pitch right down to the Dodgers' 4-game World Series sweep. Sandy Koufax's strikeout power reduced the mighty Yankees to toothpicks, with his pitching power winning the first and last games of the series for the Dodgers. For the first time ever in the track and field world, John Pinnell cleared the 17-foot pole vault barrier. In golf, Jack Nicklaus won the Masters crown to fulfill his promise after winning the Open crown. The Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Detroit Red Wings to take hockey's Stanley Cup for the second year in a row. So until tomorrow, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Yeah. I truly don't know what direction this game was trying to go in. And I think that that level of baffling is totally fine. This was definitely an interesting little jaunt. So I think that that's gonna end my FMV Friday for this week. I definitely want to check out more of the Journeyman project. I think taking a real crack at that might be really fun. Reelect JFK, interesting side note. I will definitely take a look at that comment section, Roger. Thanks for checking that out. I just don't know what to say. So Monday, I'm not going to be around. Tuesday, with any luck, we will start Sorcery, which I'm really excited for. Very different kind of text-based game. Very one that JRAM has been hyping to me for a while. And I'm a really big fan of like how Steve Jackson approaches games, and you know, his kind of like mechanic style I think is really strong. So I'm like really excited about that. And then next Friday, who knows? Maybe some Journeyman projects. I'm still chipping away at getting that last little bit of Spycraft working. And if we can find anything else cool, I there are so many FMV games out there. But yeah, this was really fun. I really enjoyed checking out this weird little publisher. We are going to hop on over to Cool Babe. She is doing Space Quest 2. But she is also right now apparently cuddling a Furby. Which truly horrifying. Which is kind of a good vibe. And she's of course a great time. Yes. Awesome. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. Definitely if you ever feel so inclined, please feel free to donate to Amos House. They're a really great organization. And we will catch you next time. Doodles.